It is another amazing moment that we've been privileged to host our very own. You call him Ogolla Sirikal. If you do Ronald, I think he'll have an issue with you. But then again, his official name is Ronald Ogolla. But because of what he does, we salute him and say Ogolla Sirikal, protocol observer in our youth forum. Of course, he has a lot to share with us here at Homestay Sundown and on our channel Authentic Europe. And we will give him time so that he can address us on issues mass voter registration, peace, and also the roles of a youth in the electoral process. Welcome, Ronald Ogolla.
Asante, thank you. Thank you, Daisy.
Uh, Feel free to be here in our channel as you punch lines on very crucial and important things which our county residents must get to know about this particular time. Tell us something about the ongoing mass voter registration.
I think there's a lot of voter apathy that we may have to go out as young people to mobilize and do what we call peer-to-peer influence, where we know our young people, maybe because of historical injustices that may have happened, or maybe they feel that they are left out in the political processes. So they feel that there's no need to take part in voting or even in the exercise. So I think we have a duty as young people to go out there and educate our young people that it is very important to participate in an electoral process, because this is where you get an opportunity to elect a leader of your choice to participate in the development of this country. And as President Kibaki said, that if you have no duty in participating in electoral processes, if you don't vote, then you're useless. And I agree with him, because if you can't take part in a very significant process in Kenya, like, for example, voting, which is very important because you get the opportunity only after 5 years, unless it's a by-election. So it's important that we get out there and comb them out and tell them, right, guys, this is the right path you need to take. You need to vote. It's important for you and your future.
Okay.
Yes.
Ogola, currently we've seen them launch and there's a ongoing registration.
Yes.
Do you really think we know? Are our residents informed? Because I hear there are some votes they call expired. Are there expired votes in terms of the time you took the vote or the time you
Yes.
registered as a voter?
Yes. There's an expired vote. Expired vote should be after 2012.
Okay.
After 2012, there's an expired vote.
After or before? Because the people who we voted on 2012, we voted in 2017.
We voted in 2013.
Sorry, 2013.
Yes.
20.
So 2013 vote onwards is valid.
It's valid.
Yes.
Anything
Beyond 2012 going down, it's invalid. But 2013 coming this way to 2021, 2022, it's legitimate.
do you really think people are really informed about this validation of votes?
I think no, but that is why I said earlier that we may need to have voter sensitization, where you enlighten the voter that you don't have to register twice. If you have a vote that was registered in 2013, then you don't have to register again.
Okay.
If you have a vote that is written 2012 or a year behind 2012, then you may need to find their name in the new register.
So what worse will happen
Because
if you have
what was will happen is obvious. You may go there to vote and you find your name missing in the register
that is if you are registered voters before 2013.
before 2013.
What if you have two votes? You have your vote, you picked it in 2017 and you're picking a new one again. What worse will happen?
If you have a new one, if you're picking a new one again, it's going to be automatically invalid.
Invalid
Because you can't have two.
you only have one vote.
You must have one.
So can you tell people that you only have one vote per person so that
Yes, it's just one man, one vote. You can't have two. You can't register twice. It's a mistake to register twice. So if you know you have a vote that is going from 2012 and below, then you need to vote at two. You need to get registered. If you have 2013 onwards, then that is right. You're on the right path. Keep mobilizing others so that they get registered. It's a duty.
Ogolla Sirikal, do you have something about mass voter movement? Like someone wants to vie, for example, in Kobura, and voters from Kisumu are picked, wanaenda kutransfer votes Kobura. Do you have something to tell people about vote transfer? Is it okay to just move blindly, or what does it take to transfer a vote?
You know, Daisy, I find that interesting because as a politician, you know very well that you want to vie in, for example, Market Milimani, which is in town and is in the center, in the heartbeat of Kisumu Central. You feel like you don't have enough people who can propel you to leadership. Then you now resort to go get back people from your village to come and vote for you. So transfer of votes or voter is going on, and I would only be mad if it's done based on I don't like the person vying in my ward. So I want to switch my vote to Market Milimani where my friends are, because you'll be doing an injustice to your people.
An injustice to your people. And then there's something which I've also noted in these past years. The people who transfer votes from, say, Kisumu,
Yes?
they take them to a different, even county. It can be from Kisumu to Homa Bay.
Mm.
Then at nomination level, they fail. Yeah.
Yeah.
The person of interest now, because he failed at nomination level, these people have their votes in Homa Bay, but because they were moved previously from Kisumu to Homa Bay to do nomination, what happens at the end result? They're not able to choose other reasons because they were transferred, and no one is going to facilitate them. What do you tell such kind of people who are easily swayed with the short-term goals?
It is in the past. I think I need to mention this. In the past, we have seen aspirants transfer voters from the other regions to their points. And when they fail in nomination, it's so obvious that they will not go extra mile to facilitate these people to come back and vote. And that affects even the presidency.
It is true. Yeah.
So it is doing injustice to the people and also injustice to yourself, because now you'll not be able to participate in the general elections because you looked at the short term. Maybe you are given money and even free transport, which is so obvious. And you are going to serve the interest of a politician, not you and your people. So I would like to tell our people that you can only transfer your vote if it's going to be beneficial to you, and you'll be able to participate in the
Till
general
the
election.
end. Oh, sure.
And this thing must be in a place where you can move easily without facilitation, because you may need facilitation and you won't get it at that time. So, for example, I vote in Siaya, assume somewhere in Uholo, Sigomre, and I have my vote in Kisumu. So, what happens in that day when I don't have transport to Uholo? It means my vote will slip. And that is an injustice to myself and to the people of Ugol, because I shall have not participated in giving them the right leader. Maybe my vote only would have made a difference.
True.
So I would encourage our people to take their votes, register where they have the proximity to the polling stations, where you don't need facilitation, where you can access easily. That I think.
I agree with you. But Ogolla, you say the youths have a role in this process. But let me ask you, are they equipped enough to ensure that people take registration easily? Like the youths, me and you now. Are we well equipped, or do we need some sort of funding or facilitation from, and if yes, from who?
Uh, I think that is important, Daisy. And I would like to agree with you that we may not have the enough capacity to traverse this county and urge our peers to vote, to register as voters. But again, remember, it's our civic duty to vote. And the best we can do is to volunteer and encourage our peers to come out and register. Remember, I told you, what the young people of today listen to is different from what our parents were listening to. There is a message that is not going on with them. They see there's no need of voting. What we need to do is just volunteer and sensitize them. And I encourage young people who have the will, the urge to move out, to just do what they're doing. I like what Kisumu young professionals are doing. They're out there and they're doing it by their own resources. And what I can urge is if the governor or even the county government can partner with these people and even any well wisher so that they move from one door to another, mobilizing and encouraging young people to vote, because young vote today stands at 70%. It means young people can lead this country if they decide. They can lead this county if they decide. But they cannot do it without having a vote.
Okay.
You may wish to lead and say, they always say, our future is tomorrow. But how do you get there when you don't have your vote?
Tell me something about handout politics, this 50-20 shillings, Gonya community. It's still so obvious here in our country.
Yeah, handout politics is a disaster. And it's not ending soon.
Mm.
Because if you look at the dynamics of politics, the way it is today, I'll give you, for example, the senatorial position. We realize that the aspirant, I won't mention name because I don't want to antagonize anybody. One will just come and people will just be singing. You know, when people sing for you your name and you give them 1,000, 5,000, you know, they'll have no duty to even listen to that person who has a vision and has a good dream and has a good manifesto for them, because they will be like, what do I get from this man? After all, he has nothing. Because sadly, this campaign of 2022 has arrived at a wrong time, where the country is facing a serious pandemic, and that is COVID 19. COVID 19 has affected the economy of this county, of this country. So, everybody in every household, unless you are an investor, unless you're earning big salaries, unless you're a business tycoon, that is when you don't feel the pinch. Unfortunately, those who don't feel the pinch are always very comfortable and they even don't see the need of voting. So the voters who are the target of the politicians are those who are down there, because they are the ones who get out and vote. For example, you saw what happened in Nairobi when they replaced Kidero with Sonko. It means those who are the likes of Sonko are so many, rather than the late in Kidero. So it's an example. So I feel it's not going to end, because we are campaigning in a time when there's too much anger. Then people are so vulnerable that they would just want somebody who would give them something to eat for the night. That is why young people wake up and fight each other, because they know, while I abuse that person, the candidate or the aspirant is monitoring. And when I sing the name of that aspirant, is monitoring. And at the end of the day, I'll get an M-Pesa transaction. That is the agenda. Nothing more. So
Yeah.
it's here and it's not ending soon.
Don't you think that's a very painful scenario to be in? Because now, for how long? Because let's be honest, before COVID-19, there was this Gonya bread issues and stuff like that. But then I'm not sure if we're in 2022, 2027, we'll still be singing the same song. How can this thing just die a natural death? Because agree with me, Ronald, for the young aspirants who are vying and are taking up positions, probably they have the will and the zeal for their country people, and they have the know, they have qualifications, matters, education, but they don't have all the excess money to give. So does it mean that politics will only be for those who have? So it's like those who have will be added, and those who don't have, will, even the little they have, will be taken away from them.
Yes, Daisy, I think it's just unfortunate that we find ourselves in that position.
Mm,
And you know me, I'm a realistic.
I know
I'm a
that.
realist and I talk things that are realistic. I don't want to sugarcoat.
Mm.
Where we are today is where the young person or even anybody out there listens to words through the stomach. If you don't massage my belly, what you're saying does not augur well with me. I don't get it. Unless you give me something that at the end of the day, I'll go home with. Because it's obvious. Once you give them your manifesto and policies, one will shout, how do you leave us? Or in law, iwe wanade. Iwe wanade is typically saying, we want money. If you don't give, they start shouting. The other day I was somewhere, and then my good friend was campaigning and asking the people to vote for him. Then he told them he did not have money at that time. Then they said, "Okay, come here." You know, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, and the best we can do is just, as I said, educate our voters, educate our people and tell them there is no problem in getting money from politicians, but you have a conscience and a duty to give your people and yourself a good leader.
So, in a nutshell, we continue to say that civic education is very important,
Very, very
and it is
important.
your role and mine.
It is our
It's
role.
so funny. I heard someone say that that is a fuliza mheshimiwa. Like when they saw the aspirant coming, and they just said, "That one has fuliza." It didn't go down well with me, but
That
here
is
we
where
are.
we are, and we can do nothing about it
Sadly,
because that is where we are. My friends normally say that where we are, people listen to words with their stomach, and I agree with them. But it's unfortunate, though, very unfortunate.
very
It's a mentality
unfortunate.
that we need to get out of our minds, and that will start with young people. That is where we say young revolution, where now you say, however much money you come with, we're not going to vote for you, but we'll eat your money.
That is it.
Yes.
Now, that was very educative, I believe, from our very own Ronald Ogolla. But remember, at Authentic Europe channel, we must talk about peace and tranquility. And I believe Ogolla is a peace ambassador. Are you not?
Ah, I've been a peace ambassador since I was born.
Amazing. So tell us something about peace and the coming election, and of course, beyond, before, during, and after.
Daisy, it's important I remind Kenyans that what we went through in the post-election violence in 2007 2008 was not something good, and we do not want to go back there. So it's our duty as young people, because we are the vulnerable lot, because they assume that young people are very idle and vulnerable,
And
so easy
energetic.
and energetic, so easy to use to cause mayhem and violence. And in that process, lives are lost, properties are lost, people are displaced, and we don't want to go back there. And young people have a duty to protect this country, because this country is going to be theirs, because they have a future. So I would encourage our people not to be bought, not to fight for politicians, because remember the politician telling you to go and fight, don't go and throw stones. Their children are not there. Them themselves, they are not there. So it's us who gets affected, because remember this country has been there for the longest time possible, and we need to leave it better than we found it for our future generations. So we cannot destroy this country because of politics. Politics is a seasonal affair. It will come and go. It will come and go. The politicians we are going to fight for will meet in parliament, swear themselves in, then drink tea in parliament cafeteria, uh, visit each other. But what will happen to us after we have destroyed our country, after we fought ourselves, after some of us have died? Remember, it's our duty to bring peace. I would not want to imagine that in 2022 we have deaths, we have loss of lives, we have destructions of properties. With this current economy, we'll be going back, and I think it's not the right time. So I will ask the bodies mandated to be peaceful ambassadors and be peaceful peacekeepers, to ensure that what we do and what comes out from our politicians are monitored. Are not only monitored, but actions are taken. Because I would not want to imagine a country where we fight each other. It will look bad. We are in a century where democracy prevails. Even if we disagree in opinion or ideologies, we must not have to fight. You share your opinion, I share mine, then we'd say, you vote your person. Because at the end of the day, it's a secret ballot. And the winner will still be our leader. And that is why I encourage our leaders to observe what comes from their mouth and be the peace ambassadors. Because where there's no peace, everything is not right. And where there's no justice, there's no peace. And I don't want to see us going back. We need to move forward. We need to move forward.
We heard what Ogolla Sirikal had to say about peace. And I also retaliate and I say that peace is a birthright. Whoever denies you peace is denying you your birthright. Then now you have to make a choice. Do you really need not to have a birthright? Now you have a decision to make. Your favorite host is your Tuoma for Authentic Europe channel. Thank you.